We are delighted to share with you this research from Five Talents on the effectiveness of community savings groups when you're working with internally displaced people, returnees and refugees. We're so grateful to Anne Figge for this research and to Lord Curry for his preface. Do take a look and read it. I will never forget meeting a woman called Angelina, whose story is shared in this research. Anne and I met her in South Sudan last year. She sat and she told us her story. She was from South Sudan. She moved to Sudan. She settled in Khartoum. She started a restaurant. Her family was there. All was well, but then the war broke out in Khartoum. She was caught in the crossfire. She was shot in the leg. Her family, her children put her on a chair, on a donkey, and they walked together back to South Sudan. And once they returned to South Sudan, she found her old home there, but it was in a state of disrepair. But then she had the news that both her husband and her sister, who had remained in Khartoum, had been shot and killed in the war. So she was there, having lost her closest family. She was there with no way to earn a living, but a community savings group where she was settled. They reached out to her. They gave her some money to buy some grass to re-thatch her roof. They made her a loan so that she could restart a small business. And over time, she has found that she's been able to rebuild. She has started this small business so that she can afford to send her children to school. She has a vision again to start a restaurant to recover where she was in Khartoum. But she says the most important thing is that her group would not leave her to be alone when she was feeling low. They would come and talk to her. They would make sure that she was okay. So this is just one story. There's many more examples and some data in this paper showing how savings groups are a way for people who've been displaced, who've lost everything through conflict or through climate change, to recover, to reintegrate, to resettle, to rebuild. And as we're now living in an environment where funding for international development is ever shorter and shorter, these effective modes of development where you can see there is genuine real impact are even more important. There's another stat that stands out to me where we found that in year one of some of these savings groups for displaced people, 80% of the money was being invested in immediate basic needs and just 6% in long-term investments such as business assets. By year three, I think 44% of people were investing their proceeds in long-term investment in building businesses for the future, and just 23% were using it for basic needs. So you can really see the effectiveness of these community savings groups. We do encourage you to read this research, to share your thoughts with us, to share it with other people.